We're driving what's known as the Ormond Loop on Florida's east coast, just north of Daytona Beach. Ancient live oaks along this drive create a lush canopy that harkens back to old Florida. It's one of the most scenic drives in the state. We've stopped off at Bulow Creek State Park. For all of you tree lovers out there, stay tuned. You're going to love what's on this property. The Fairchild Oak is thought to be the oldest live oak in the state of Florida. It's at least 400 years old, but could be much older. Native American artifacts found on the site date all the way back to 2000 BCE. This thing has survived droughts, countless tropical storms and hurricanes, fires, and wars. It still stands just as majestic as ever. The great oak has also been witness to tragedy. 2 deaths have happened on this very spot. During the early 1800s, the Ormond family had a plantation house that stood about 200 feet from the tree. James Ormond II used to play on the branches of this tree as a kid. As an adult, his lifeless body was found beneath the tree. Ormond was laid to rest by his 13-year-old son in a tomb not far from here. The inscription reads, "James Ormond died September 30th, 1829. An honest man." His death is still a mystery, but historians think it had to be pretty gruesome. In recalling his father's death, his son wrote, "I witnessed my father's death, and God forbid that any of my children should ever be witness of such a scene. Amen." During the late 1800s, Norman Harwood ran a large dry goods business in Minnesota that employed some 500 people. After an economic crash left him in more than $1 million worth of debt, Harwood moved to Florida and purchased 4,000 acres that included the Old Ormond Plantation. Harwood could never shake his creditors and his personal economic turmoil. A few years after moving here, Harwood is said to have taken his own life at the tree. Some say Harwood's ghostly presence still wanders the grounds around the tree to this very day. Bulow Creek State Park protects nearly 5,600 acres, one of the largest remaining stands of southern live oak forest along Florida's eastern coast. Two trails that start near the Fairchild Oak are great for exploring the park's interior. The Wayland Trail is a short loop around a groundwater spring that seeps from a coquina rock bluff. The Bulow Woods Trail runs just under 7 miles to Bulow Plantation Ruins Historic State Park. There's also a canoe trail accessible on nearby Walter Boardman Lane and at the Bulow Ruins. A small pavilion near the Fairchild Oak is a nice spot to have a picnic. There are also restrooms available here. At nearby James Ormond Tomb Park, you'll find restrooms, picnic areas, and a small playground. Thanks for coming along on this trip to the Fairchild Oak. From Bulow Creek State Park, see you next time.